In previous lecture, we have started our discussion on the components of solar PV system, in which we have discussed in detail about PV arrays. Now we will discuss about the next component, that is batteries. If we talk about the batteries, then it is very important, that is required to store the energy to tackle the intermittency of the solar, or we can say any renewable energy sources. In case of solar, intermittency can be of two types. First is solar intensity variation due to the day-night variation. The second can be seasonal change. So in this way, there are different causes due to which the solar radiations are varying, and in that case the battery storage system is very important. So our aim is to discuss the optimal choice of the storage system so that we can maximize the utilization of our PV system. Batteries are viable solution of storage, and they are of two types. The first is primary and second is the secondary. So in this way, two type of batteries are there. So let us see which one is required to us in PV system. So the primary battery, this battery perform irreversible reaction process. So it irreversibly convert chemical energy to electrical energy. Okay. For example, zinc carbon batteries, or we can say alkaline batteries. They are performing irreversible chemical process in which just we can store the energy, and once it is discharged, they cannot be utilized after charging again. And the second is the secondary type of battery, in which the excess electrical energy can be stored in form of electrical energy. So thus the secondary battery are possible storage system to explore in our PV system. And if you talk about their type, then it can be lead acid batteries, nickel cadmium batteries. Third is nickel metal hydride batteries. This is most mature type of battery. However, nickel cadmium suffer from memory effect. It loses its life if repeatedly charged and discharged. And nickel metal hydride have good energy density, but it suffer from hydrate self-discharge. Now let us discuss lead acid batteries. Battery is composed of several individual cells, and each cell has its nominal cell voltage 2 volt. So we can say each cell has 2 volt nominal voltage, and it has a different type of assembly. For example, to get 12 volt battery, 6 cells are required to connect in series. So we can write 12 volt battery required 6 cells in series. It is composed of 2 electrode and electrolyte. Electrolyte is H2SO4, dilute H2SO4, and this is negative electrode, this is positive electrode. These are connected with external connection like this. So we can say external circuit. In this way they are connected, and the electrolyte is dilute H2SO4, and 2 plates of opposite polarity are inserted into electrolyte solution. These electrodes provide sufficient surface area to help in chemical reaction, and when the electricity is drawn, in that case electrons flow from negative to positive electrode and through the external circuit, and when battery is recharged, means it is not supplying, this is charging. When it is recharged, the flow of electron is reversed. In that case electron flow like this. This is discharging, this is recharging. So in this way the chemical reaction that takes place inside the cell, or we can say inside the battery, is reversible. If we plot between solar irradiance and demand profile, then let us solar irradiance and demand profile, then in that case this is time in hour, and this is the solar irradiation. Solar irradiance, we can say unit maybe watt per meter square, it is in hour. And if we plot the solar radiation energy, then we have this characteristics. It will be 0 in the night, it will be 0 here, and at the same time if we have the demand characteristics, somewhat like this, the demand is like this, this is demand, load demand, and this is the irradiation power. And in this case, if we are not having any storage system, then the system is not capable to power the load, because when at this time the power that we have generation is okay, however the demand is low, it can fulfill, but after that the generation is very low, the radiation energy is low, however demand is high, so it cannot be fulfilled. So for that purpose, during this, when the solar radiations are not sufficient to power to meet the load, in that case energy storage system is very important. And if the area according to meet the load demand, A1 should be equal to the A2, and that is only possible when there is battery in the system. So in that case only this thing is possible. So we can find the importance of the energy storage system in our This is especially for solar PV system, but that is important for any renewable energy source system. Now let us discuss the parameters of battery. So just write basic parameters of battery. So in this we have two important parameters, voltage and capacity of the battery. For example, rated voltage for lead acid battery is 12 volt. It may be 24 volt or 48 volt and so on. And this rated voltage is the nominal voltage at which battery is supposed to operate. And however, battery can attain any voltage by interconnection at system level. And the capacity of the battery, it can be the amount of charge the battery can deliver at rated voltage. Okay, so capacity can be defined as the amount of charge battery can deliver at rated voltage. Okay, and the capacity, if we talk about the capacity, then it is proportional to the amount of electrode material in the battery. And this explains why a small cell has less capacity and large cell has higher capacity, even though the open circuit voltage are the same for both the cells. Thus from here we can say the voltage of the cell is chemistry based, the voltage of cell is chemistry based. However, the capacity is based on the quantity of the material used. The capacity is based on the quantity of the material in electrode. Okay, and the rated capacity, as rated voltage is 12 volt, 24 volt, 48 volt. Similarly, rated capacity of the battery can be in ampere hour or milliampere hour according to their size. And we know that the current is rate of flow of charge, and from here if we write 1 ampere hour, it means we can say 1 coulomb per second into hour, and if further simplify then we can have 36 coulomb. This is the unit of charge and this is the rated capacity. So the capacity can be either in ampere hour or in coulombs. However, more convenient is ampere hour to measure the battery capacity. We will discuss why it is. We must not confuse from the battery capacity with the energy capacity. Energy capacity of the battery or any storage device is the total amount of energy that device can store. That is usually in watt hour. However, the capacity of the battery is in ampere hour. Okay. Now, how do we calculate the energy capacity of battery? Knowing the voltage and battery capacity, we will discuss now. How do we calculate the energy capacity of the battery? Knowing the voltage and the battery capacity of the battery, we will see here. So, energy capacity of the battery can be, okay, what we can write here, energy capacity of the battery, it can be equal to the capacity of the battery, that we can say battery times the voltage of the battery. Now let us see the significance of unit of capacity, that is ampere hour. For example, there is a battery, it has capacity 10 ampere hour and it delivers 1 ampere. Then from the unit we have 10 ampere hour divided by 1 ampere is equal to 10 hour. It can deliver this charge for 10 hours. Now let us discuss charging and discharging of battery. The reactions that takes place inside the lead acid battery is negative ion plus positive ion. The charging forms lead sulfate plus water and it is irreversible. So discharging, charging, discharging. So in this way the reactions that takes place in lead acid battery is shown here. And let us see how charging and discharging relates the battery capacity. Now let us see how charging and discharging relates the battery capacity. So that is defined from C rate, that is termed as C rate, and it is the measure of the rate of discharge of battery relative to its capacity. So accordingly we can write it is measure of discharge rate of a battery relative to its capacity. Mathematically, C rate can be written as I divided by capacity of the battery per unit hour. So from here we can say current divided by the discharge of the current of the battery can sustain over 1 hour. That is the 1 C rate, for example 1 C rate can be said as the current divided by the discharge current of the battery that can sustain over 1 hour. So from here we can write I is equal to C rate multiplied with capacity of the battery divided by 1 hour. So if the C rate of the battery is 1 C for 10 ampere hour capacity, it would correspond to a discharge of the current of 10 ampere over 1 hour. It means, let me repeat it, if C rate of the battery is 1 for 10 ampere hour rated battery, it would correspond to a discharge current of 10 ampere over 1. Mathematically we can write it. For 1 C 10 ampere hour battery correspond to a discharge current of 10 ampere over 1 hour. So here we can write 1 hour 1 C of the battery. Similarly, the C value 2 and the rating of the capacity of the battery is 10 ampere hour correspond to a discharge of 20 ampere for half an hour. So we can say for half an hour C value 2. Okay, and similarly we can say for C value 0.5 of 10 ampere hour battery rated battery corresponds to a discharge current of 5 ampere for 2 hours. So discharge current will be for 2 hours when the rating of the battery is 10 ampere hour, and that will be 0.5 C value. Now let us talk about efficiency of storage system. Any system, the efficiency can be output divided by input in terms of percentage. So in case of battery, for example, there is a battery, the charging is 10 kilowatt hour and it can discharge 8 kilowatt hour, then efficiency will be output energy divided by input energy, that will be 0.8, in percentage it will be 80%. In case of battery, the efficiency can be, efficiency of the battery can be the efficiency of the, in terms of voltage, multiplied efficiency in terms of capacity. So in these two terms we can define the efficiency of the battery. So efficiency in terms of voltage can be the voltage discharge during divided by the voltage, the charged voltage, so multiplied with 100. This will give us the efficiency for voltage. Similarly, efficiency for the capacity, we can have the discharge current and the charged current. It can give us the efficiency in terms of the charging of the battery. So combining these two, when we multiply these two, then it gives us the efficiency of the battery. That is nothing E out by E input, that is 80%. Next important term defined in case of battery is state of charging. State of charge and depth of discharge. These two terms are defined in case of battery. So let us try to understand the state of charge. It is defined as the percentage of the battery capacity available for discharge. Percentage of battery capacity available for discharge. So we can write a state of charge is equal to energy available divided by the capacity of the battery times voltage. In percentage it can be written as like this. For example, 10 ampere hour rated battery drained by 2 hours is said to have a state of charge is equal to 80%. I think it is clear from here. Let me repeat it. 10 ampere hour battery drained by 2 hours, so that will be 2 ampere hour, is said to have a state of charge of 80%. Similarly, depth of discharge and depth of discharge is defined as the percentage of battery capacity that has been discharged. So let us write it, that is defined as the percentage of battery capacity that has been discharged. So for example, 10 ampere hour battery have been drained by 2 ampere hour has DOD of 20%. So here we can write DOD of 20%. Okay. So from here we find these two are complementary.